that I'm blessed. It's a few L's and millions, so turn that loss to a...
Eric Martindale, welcome to the Father Alchemist Podcast.
Bro, so excited to be here.
Dude, I haven't been this excited to have somebody on in a long time. And for those of you that don't know Eric, we met at the gym, and this was a guy where I met him in the sauna, and he was cupping himself. And I'm like, dude, who is this guy? And I started talking to him, and just an absolute wealth of knowledge in health and fitness. He has his master's degree in exercise physiology. He also is involved in construction, owns a roofing company, and recently became one of the founding members and distributors for Make Wellness.
Yeah.
So
lots of things
I'd love
happening.
to dig into all of it, brother. But first, tell us, like, how long have you been in Colorado?
So I got out here in 2008. So I came out in between college and grad school, and I was actually a camp counselor. So I was taking kids on adventures, and it was also adventure for me. So I'm from Wisconsin originally, and but it was my first time rock climbing, climbing a 14er, horseback riding, whitewater rafting. So like that was my introduction to Colorado. And since that summer, I was like, dude, that's my home. Like I need to live there.
It's a great place to be. I think people underestimate it, or they, they come here not knowing what to expect, and then they find all these gems about the state.
I love this state. Yeah.
It took me about 6 months. Like I came from California, and I really struggled for the first 6 months, man, because I was used to growing up in the by the ocean and going surfing. And I came here and I felt physically like almost claustrophobic with the mountains. That changed over a period of time. Obviously I'm still here, but I just find there's so many amazing neighborhoods. The food scene is off the chain now. You've got music, you've got the mountains, all of the stuff I know you're into. And so dude, I would love for you to talk a little bit about like when I see Eric at the gym, like most people are on the treadmill or they're lifting weights, and this dude's fucking doing handstands, walking around the gym, doing handstands and all kinds of shit on the pull-up bars. And so talk to me a little bit about that. Like why have you picked that? Like, what is it about that you enjoy or that you find beneficial?
I really love calisthenics. I've been lifting weights since I was 13. So I grew up in football and wrestling. Those are my sports. And I was just always smaller. So I had to put on muscle mass just to be more athletic, and also mainly because I had 3 older brothers too. So I'm the youngest of 3 older bros. So I had to defend myself. Every day was a battleground. But weightlifting...
Because, dude, you're super fucking lean. I mean, like when I watch this dude walking around the gym, it's just like striations and cuts, and I'm like, fuck, man. I get
asked a lot if I'm using, gear or anything. I'm like, no. Like, I'm proud that I'm all natural, and I can teach you ways. There's many ways to boost testosterone and do things naturally. Like, you don't have to go to drugs and all that just to be lean. And I do this year round. This isn't like a fad, or like some, trainers get jacked in the summertime. In the winter, they're like, like, this is my bulking stage. Right. But I'm a lifestyle. Like, this is just the lifestyle I live. And I love calisthenics. I see like the whole wellness picture. So I'm big on mobility as well. I'm 38 years old, but I feel like I'm 21, and I have the best.
You look like it, dude. You look like Gumby in the gym. I mean,
dude, if
it's
I
remarkable.
shave, I look like, people ask me like I'm fresh out of college or something. But
I'm sure.
I'm about the full gamut, not just being fit. When I was in my younger years in college, it was just like, how much could you bench and how big you are. And now I'm about longevity.
For sure.
Like, I want to feel good, like in my 40s, my 50s, my 60s. And you can do that. Age is just a number, and it doesn't matter how late you start. I know there's a guy at our gym, actually, bro. He started working out when he was 65. He's 67. He wasn't like an athlete and got out of shape. No background. He was overweight.
Did he tell you why he started at 65? Like, what caused that?
I don't know what the trigger was. Maybe it was like a spot. I really don't know. Maybe he had a heart thing. But I'll say this. He's lost over 80 pounds now.
Holy shit.
He's a different human being.
That's amazing,
and he's 67,
dude.
And like it's just he embraces that it's a part of his life. And I like to teach people, like when I'm coaching with clients, I'll just say, like, I view my workouts or like my self-care routine as like brushing my teeth. Meaning you don't wake up and think, oh, I don't feel like brushing my teeth today. It's automatic. It's a so I never have the thought anymore of I don't feel like going to the gym. It's a guarantee I'm going. It's just a matter of like how hardcore, like how hard of a workout, or maybe I just do a sauna and a stretch. But that alone is better than not going to the gym and doing nothing. So
I think I always tell people, like, when it comes to working out or health and fitness, it's if you haven't done it for a while and you've just been sedentary, or that thought trickles in of like, man, I really need to, like, I don't want to put on this extra weight, and metabolism can start slowing as you get a little bit older. But that first couple of weeks, at least for me, dude, is it's tough.
Yeah,
I've always been athletic. I've always been into sports. I think I've gone to the gym the majority of my life ever since I was 15. I was in high school, going into the gym. And there have been times where I've taken off and not worked out for a stretch of time. But then once you get into it and you develop that habit and that routine,
exactly,
it's almost like you feel shitty when you don't go.
Precisely.
Right?
That's how I feel.
It's like it's just a natural drug.
It is.
And it gives you so much self-confidence, man.
100%.
And it I know a lot of people like working out in the afternoon because it's tough for them to get up early. For me, it's like, dude, if I can wake my ass up at 4:30, 5 o'clock and get to the gym, what else is going to stop me that day?
The whole day is different.
That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But,
and just getting there is the battle.
Yeah.
Once you're there, that is like most of the battle's over. And now you decide, like, hey, like, even if you just sauna and stretch, like those are like two things I'm huge on. If you just did that, your body's going to feel great. Like if I have a long, like 10, 12-hour day, if I don't have the time to hit a good workout, I'll say, dude, at least I'll get like an hour sauna in, stretch for like 20, and I got the energy up. Now I'm feeling good to go work hard,
What's the difference between the sauna and the steam room?
Yeah, so that's a common question. So the main thing's the temp, of course, the humidity as well. A steam room's just pure humidity and steam, but the temps only get maybe 130 in there, whereas sauna. And that's what's going to get the physiological effects. A sauna, I mean, you really want to be at like 170 or above. Okay. If you're just going to start, let's say you're older, maybe have heart issues, I'd say let's start like 150 to 170 at a lower range and build up that stamina. But if you're fit and all that, you could handle 175. And that is a physical shock to the body, a high heat or a cold one. And your body responds to that by doing a lot of things. And one big thing it does is the immune response. It deliberately, it creates white blood cells. So one of the like I never get sick ever. And so one of that is because I cold plunge in sauna every day. So my immune system is like thriving and ready to fight off anything.
You cold plunge as well?
Yeah, every single.
You have a cold plunge.
I have a cold plunge tank at my house. Okay. Yep. And then
that's
of course
awesome, I'm coming over.
Yeah,
every morning, man. 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. Hey man, I just want to just here for the plunges.
Start charging rent.
Bro, that means I'll get you the Turkish tea then next time.
Okay, got it.
We can't plunge until we have our Turkish tea.
Hey, but so talk to me a little bit about the mental aspect of, so you go into a sauna, let's pretend you've never done it before. Maybe you've tried it, but you've never really committed to having an intention with it.
Yep.
Is the idea to like be able to get to a point, whether it's, 5 minutes or 25 minutes, but is the idea to push yourself almost through that breaking point where the mind starts trying to convince you that, hey, get out, or, okay, you've had enough, you're sweating, it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Are the effects coming before that, or do you think there's an added benefit to mentally pushing through that and staying in there a little bit longer?
There's definitely the mental component. So if I'm working with like an athlete, like then we have that whole component. It's like, so if I'm just saying like pure physiological, I actually coach people and say, okay, let's say you're just going for a total of, let's say 15 or 20 minutes. Like you're just starting out. That's a good range to start. 15. I would actually recommend splitting that time up and doing, if you can, do a cold shower in between. Because what's better than just staying open, let's say for 20 minutes, is if you open and then close. So like the blood vessels are all vasodilating in the sauna. And then when you go cold shower, it squeezes everything. And that's a great way to get rid of lactic acid and waste. And so when you close, open, that's the definition of heart health. You want good cardiovascular health, you can open them and then close.
There's nothing dangerous about that. Like, I think some people might say, hey, if you shock the system too much, that could create issues.
Only issues would be, let's say if someone's like 40, 50 plus and they're just a little overweight, I would say don't do the cold plunge. The starting point for any cold plunging is cold showers. Okay. Like, you don't got to go extreme right out the gate. Just go showers. I was just coaching my buddy on this. Said, dude, just go contrast showering, it's called. Go hot, get all warm first, then go cold for like 30 seconds. Go hot, cold, hot, cold. And that's called contrast bathing or showering. And you can do the same with sauna.
Is there an optimal time for sauna?
Yeah. I would say the 30-minute range is like the sweet zone. I go longer simply to build stamina. Longer than that, I do it for heart health. Like when I'm training for the mountains, doing high altitude 14ers, that's one of kind of like my hacks, if you will, is I just hit the sauna every day for an hour and my heart health is like through the roof. Awesome. The other thing, though, to be very mindful of with sauna on the regular is you need to replace electrolytes. Like I never just drink plain water ever. It always has electrolytes in it. There's a lot of good brands out there.
How do you know? So this is something that I've struggled with is like, okay, there's 100 different electrolyte products out there, right?
There's so many.
And you know that a lot of the stuff that is like you walk into the store and it's in your face. Yeah. Those guys are paying dollars to be there.
Marketing.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so then it's like, okay, it's everywhere, but how do I trust? Yeah. Is there something you're looking for specifically with an electrolyte?
Absolutely. So like, I'll just say the very best is found in nature, and that's coconut water. And that's like what I brought with me out. So coconut water, get this, in the Vietnam War, they was doing IV infusion with coconut water when they ran out in the Vietnam War, because coconut water, the electrolyte balance is identical to the plasma in our blood. The plasma in our blood has the ratio of like...
See what I'm talking about, guys? Like, how do you know this shit, man? That's amazing.
I got all these random factoids. So the electrolyte balance in coconut, so magnesium, potassium, sodium, those are like your three big ones, calcium. The balance is identical to what's in our blood. So coconut water, there's no better way to hydrate than coconut water.
They say that a lot of Americans have a deficiency in magnesium.
Yeah, top deficiency.
Do you think, like, I'll drink Calm?
That's a great product.
At night sometimes. And dude, it just, I don't know how to explain it, but it just kind of makes me a little relaxed. It's easier to go to bed.
It's a natural.
I feel like I have a more restful sleep.
Magnesium's a natural muscle relaxant. So it'll just, and that's what you need, especially someone who's fit. I mean, we sweat out magnesium. So not only is everyone deficient in it, like if you don't supplement it, you're guaranteed deficient. But then if you're active on top or sauna, then you're really sweating it out. So then you really, but I go with a company called Thorne. They're used by the entire UFC, over 1,000 Olympic athlete, all that. So they're legit. And, yeah, I love
just
their
Thorne.com.
It's called Thorne spelled with an E, so it's like Rose Thorne, but THORNE. And I have a professional account with them, so they're not like a direct sales type style. They have like chiropractors or health professionals. So I just prove to them like I'm a health professional, and then I love their products, but I'm also launching this peptide company, and so that's like, we have a hydrate product. We have some really amazing products.
I want to talk about this because So you brought this up to me at the gym, and I was like, what the fuck? An all-natural peptide product that's being launched.
Yeah.
It's nothing else like this exists.
No, they don't exist yet in the market.
No,
they're new.
I've just started to learn about pharmaceutical peptides.
Right.
Right. Dude, at one point in the last 6 months, I injured my freaking calf. I don't know if you remember, I thought I tore my bicep.
Oh, yeah. I remember your
shoulder. Like, I just was like, dude, what the hell? I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
So I started taking BPC 157.
Yep. That's a real popular
I just told my wife this morning, I'm like, dude, this shit is fucking remarkable.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have pain.
Yeah. Its nickname is the Wolverine peptide.
Oh, is that
because,
right?
But BPC 157 is a growth hormone peptide. And what growth hormone does is it heals everything, all tissue. So it helps heal muscle tissue, connective tissue. If you've torn like an ACL or any soft tissue, growth hormone will heal. And of course, it helps with muscle mass.
Dude. So there's a company called Core Peptides, which is where I ordered my last bottle of BPC 157.
Yep.
But there's like 200. I don't know if it's 200, but it's like pages of scrolling.
A lot.
And I'm like, how does anybody have time to actually read? Like,
It's
how do
wild.
I know what does what?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't even think they say it really on the website.
Yeah.
Necessarily, but
there's all sorts of pathways that these peptides do. The two most popular ones on the market right now are the first you met, BPC 157, and that's great for joint repair, muscle mass growth, just repairing any injuries of any kind. The other one for weight loss specifics called Ozempic, the hottest, peptide on the market weight loss wise. Now, I'll say the big problem with Ozempic is 40% of the weight loss you lose is from muscle and bone. You're losing muscle and bone mass. So if you lost, 20 pounds, 40% of that, so like 12 pounds, is muscle and bone. You never want to lose muscle and bone.
Yeah.
So the other downside to any pharmaceutical peptide is pharmaceuticals all have side effects. I'm always like a natural, first, and I'm not saying all pharmaceuticals are trash. We do need some, but if there's a natural counterpart, which launching November 5th, when this company launches, we do have one.
November 5th is the date?
November 5th. So I'm one of the founding affiliates with this company. There's been over 55,000 people who have pre-enrolled to get their hands on this. We will sell out. Like, as soon as we go live, we're going to do drops. So each week is a new product drop, and we have 6 total.
6 total products?
6 total. We have an alternative to BPC 157.
Okay.
It's called I Am Fit.
Okay.
And these also, the beauty of these products is like, I don't get behind something unless I know for a fact there's science and it's like back.
And if anybody's going to go down the freaking rabbit hole on it,
dude, I am going down it deep as it goes. And I just care about my health. Like, when someone knows me, I'm always in a search for what is the best out there, what's the newest. Things are always evolving, like vitamins and supplements. There's a bunch on the market, but there's nothing like a bioactive natural peptide. So we have the Ozempic counterpart, which is called Lean.
Okay.
Here's what's great about it. Not only is there natural, ours actually performs better than Ozempic. So Ozempic, I've mentioned 40% of weight loss, muscle and bone mass. Our Lean product in human clinical trials, so this is all tested out, humans took this product, this is the result. 100% of weight loss was from visceral fat. 100% of it. And that's so it's clinical trials on humans. A lot of products too, when they say, oh, we've tested, it's done in a petri dish. They didn't actually give it to a human and then test it. It's these are human clinical trials. We have it on the Fit product, and it shows muscle mass gain, muscle recovery, improved stamina and endurance. So we have the BPC counterpart.
Okay.
We have the Ozempic counterpart.
So with Ozempic what's the counterpart called?
Lean. So our fat burner's Lean.
Okay.
Yep.
So if somebody takes Lean, what if somebody's like, hey man, I want to get shredded, but I need to put on weight. Would you advise them to stay away from something like Lean, or is there a better? I would
say the holy grail of body composition change is when you can it's tough, but if you can burn fat and put on muscle at the same, that's that's how you change body composition. And I would say, so lean's going to burn fat. The I Am Fit product is going to help you put on muscle mass. So together, that's like the holy grail. Like that's a lethal weapon to change body composition.
I totally agree with you. I feel like if you can push yourself as far as you're able to go naturally, that's the best place to start.
Yeah.
You may decide to, do a peptide or an anabolic or something beyond that.
Yep.
But how would you say diet plays a role in all of this?
Oh, it's huge, man. Like you are what you eat.
Do you help people with that? Like, you put together meal plans for people?
Big on that.
You do?
Yeah. Food plans, workout plans.
Are you like looking at macros or?
I have a whole different approach to nutrition because almost all my trainer buddies, they'll just, proteins, fat, carbs, and they look at food as numbers. And I look at the body and food as absorption because the saying, you are what you eat, that's not true. You are what you absorb. And if you have poor absorption in your gut, which most of us do, you're not absorbing what you're putting in your body, even if they're high quality subs or good food. So the first thing I target all of my clients is gut health. First thing, because I want you to be able to absorb. Like I want the absorption and all that to be happening. The gut is called our second brain.
Dude, it's awesome
really
that
important.
You're mentioning this because are you familiar with Gary Brecka?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he's great.
I've listened to some of his podcasts. I think what attracted me to him is I saw a YouTube video where he basically saved Dana White's life of UFC, I mean, this guy was on all kinds of steroids and pharmaceuticals and sleep apnea machine and
all of it. Yeah.
And apparently Brecka came in and, he dropped 60 pounds and
got him lean.
And now you've got Dana White being a spokesperson basically for Gary Brecka saying like, hey, like I was in my 50s and I just felt like, hey, this is what happens when you get older.
Yeah, you just
accept it. And then he went through this process and he's like, that's bullshit. I feel like I'm fucking 20 years old again. It's unbelievable. Now he's got the money to do everything that he needs to do, right?
Absolutely.
But a big part of what he talks about is absorption, and he calls it methylation. The methylation process, but he also believes that most of us suffer from some kind of gene mutation. So his kind of protocol is like, hey, first get a gene test, figure out what gene mutation you have, and then before you just take supplements for the sake of supplementing, if you could be taking all the supplements in the world, and if your body's not absorbing it, it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter.
And so he has found, I think it is another supplement, but it's a methylated version of it so that your body can actually absorb it once the gene mutation is taken care of.
It's all about absorption and gut health, because if your body isn't absorbing what you're putting in it, it's like one end out the other. And so everyone needs to focus at some point on gut health, and that's like my focal point with coaching clients is first let's clean you out, let's heal your gut, and then we can rebuild you back up. But first we have to do like a clean out phase and just get your gut healthy.
Have you heard of combo? Combo is I don't know if it's a I don't think it's a venom. It's some kind of secretion from a frog.
Oh, I have.
That's in the top of the Amazon canopy.
Yes.
So I hired a shaman.
Okay.
She came over to the house and administered this combo. And I've done it twice now. But basically she takes an incense stick. She burned me 7 times on the, I'll show you next time. I don't have my sleeves on, but 7 times on the arm. She's making you breathe through it because it doesn't tickle. And so she's burning you. And then she takes this stuff from this frog. I can't think of the name of the frog, but it lives at the top of the canopy of the Amazon rainforest, which is the most septic place on Earth. And so it's supposed to be I can't remember if it's 4,000 or 40,000 more times powerful than morphine. But it has this effect. So when the I'll just call it frog juice. When the frog juice seeps into your arm, I'm sure that actually sounds kind of bad, but whatever. So frog venom. There you go. So when it goes in, have you ever taken high doses of niacin?
Not high. I've taken like probably medium, I guess I would say,
So
but
even
not
in a
like
lot of
ultra high. No.
pre-workouts, there's some
Yeah.
version of niacin. And if you've
Yeah.
ever taken a pre-workout where it's like, whoa, I'm kind of tingly. Well,
Yes.
imagine like 50xing that, right? Your whole body, dude, goes through this massive flush.
Wow.
Then it works its way from the head into your stomach.
Okay.
And a lot of people will purge, which is part of the point of this, but it basically brings you from making decisions from your subconscious into the prefrontal cortex, so you're more in control with your executive function. And it has completely eliminated, maybe not completely, like 90% eliminated any cravings or obsessive compulsiveness to like reach for anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Vices, food that isn't good for me.
Yeah.
I found myself in the last week, like not watching TV at all. Like I just like, I'll turn it on because it became habit. And then I'm like, I have no interest in that. It's almost like you're just totally at peace in your own skin, dude.
That sounds amazing.
It's spectacular.
It's wild you just mentioned that because literally it was at the gym. I was chatting with this girl in the jacuzzi.
The fat hairy guy with the butt crack.
I was chatting with that dude.
I got the frog in my satchel.
You think I carry my satchel, man?
All right, you're cool now.
So I saw this woman in the jacuzzi, and she had those marks on her arm, and I was like, that looks like tribal, like she was in Peru or somewhere. And I asked her, same thing, combo. I was like, so it's interesting you mentioned that.
Kambo.
Yeah.
So you'll hear sometimes Kambo because combo people sometimes think, what are you combining? Right?
Yeah. No,
yeah, but it's all natural, and it's
I'm all about natural, man.
It's medicine.
How I see, like, for every drug that exists, there's a natural counterpart.
Yeah.
That's how actually most
the drug
drugs
has
yeah, like we first found it in nature, then we synthesize it, change it a little bit so we could patent it and call it a drug.
And so pharmaceutical companies can make billions of dollars.
Exactly. So, but there's things in nature. There's a natural remedy for everything. So,
so sorry to get you off track. Go back to the 6 products that your company.
So So I talked about our top 2 seller, will be the lean. So that's our Ozempic weight loss product, and then our fit for muscle mass and joint repair and what your BPC product's doing. We also have a natural counterpart for Adderall. So that's a big one. Everyone's taking that for work. You
guys listening love Adderall. Just joking.
We have a product called Focus. And that product is what it says it is. So you can have natural fluid focus.
Have you tried all these yourself yet?
I haven't. So only like 20 like round circle members have tried the products. But they're close friends of mine. We already have the clinical trials and all that. So it's been like all researched. It's just that they haven't unleashed it to the public yet. But I'm excited to be just one. So I'm one of the founders, so I get all 6 products in this cool box and then some special things that go with it. So we have the Focus product for that. We also have one, there's a lot of people on anxiety, stress, depression type medication. So we have a product called Calm. And Calm is a direct to mouth product. It's like a pixie stick. So like when you're a little kid, you'd pixie stick. So it's like that, and it's like almost immediately going to just calm you down. And how like those are a big issue. Like and a lot of times people who are on those meds, the very side effect is the thing they're trying to prevent, which is like suicidal thoughts and just dark things.
It's funny you mentioned that. So there was an ex-girlfriend of mine, total hippie yoga instructor, right? She convinced me that I was allergic to dairy and gluten. So I went off that shit for like 3 years. And then I actually had my blood taken, and the doc's like, you're not allergic at all to dairy or gluten. You're allergic to eggs. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm never stopping eating eggs. Yeah. She was into all kinds of different products. I lost my train of thought with where I was going with that. What were you talking about just before that?
So we had the Calm product, like depression and anxiety and stress and like,
she was taking Klonopin. She was prescribed Klonopin. In the benzodiazepine family. And I said, and it was just ironic because when I was younger, I was, I think, 19 years old. I had just moved in with a roommate. This is in Sherman Oaks, California. And I swear to God, I was going to die. I was having a fucking panic attack. And I've never had one since. But at that time, it was the worst feeling, dude. I literally couldn't breathe. I was pacing around the entire apartment complex that I lived in. I didn't know what to do. Nobody was there. So I just thought, I'm not going to call 911. This is ridiculous. But so I called my mom. I'm like, you got to take me to the hospital.
Wow.
So she leaves work. She comes and picks me up and takes me to this doctor in Burbank who's like 80 years old, sees me and is like, you need Paxil and you need Klonopin. And now at 19 years old, then, it was like, you do what the doctor tells you to do.
Yeah.
I hadn't educated myself yet on really what's behind the scenes with a lot of pharmaceuticals, but so I was on that shit for like 2 years, and I'll never forget it. I ran out and I thought I was going to die again.
Yeah. And
so I went to the CVS pharmacy and I basically was like, to the pharmacist over the counter, like, give me a fucking pill. And he did it. I think at the time, like, he shouldn't have, it was probably illegal, but I think he realized that something serious was actually happening. And I learned that with benzos and alcohol, the only two drugs you can actually die from detoxing on, right? Like even heroin, you can't die from the detox. So that was a big wake up call for me. And I was like, I don't ever want to be on this shit again. And then years later, I meet this girl who's on it. I'm like, dude, pull up the side effect list. I swear to you, if you guys pull up the side effect list, I mean, she went on, it must have been 30 minutes of side effects, dude, that she's rattling off to me. And it was basically everything that did the opposite of what the drug was intended to do.
Yeah.
So I think with a lot of drugs, every drug on the planet initially starts as a stimulant and eventually turns into a poison. So
your liver
I think it's cool that you have a product like that.
Yeah.
That can help replace that.
Alternatives for all these people that just don't, and pharmaceuticals aren't like a long-term solution. I think short-term, maybe there's a time and place, but long-term, they're going to jack your liver, your kidneys, your colon, like everything, your hormones. You become a different person.
What would you say to the person listening to this that they're in a place where they like, look, we all know it's fairly common sense, like eat well and exercise, and that's gonna carry you the majority of the way.
Absolutely.
Right. Now you can supplement, you can take a peptide, or you can do things to improve yourself beyond a certain point, but a lot of it's diet and exercise. But what would you say to the person that's like, man, I know I need to start eating better. I know I need to get in the gym, but I fucking hate life. I'm just depressed. I don't have any energy. I don't have time. There's all of these reasons. But what are some things that somebody in that spot where they know what the next best move is, but they're stuck and they can't bring themselves to do it? Any advice you would give to that person?
I would say, like, you can't, like, no matter how good of a coach anyone is, you can't change someone who doesn't want to change. And like even Tony Robbins or someone who's just like world-class coach, if that person's just like, they're just like stuck in their ways and they don't want to change, then like they need to find something more motivating than just kind of going internal. Like, do they have family? They have something that's outside of them that could motivate them to make that change. But let's say it's someone who's like, I do want to make that change. I just like don't know where to start. I'm a big like personal growth, personal development guy. I like Tony Robbins a lot. And he talks about how motion creates emotion. So usually when you're depressed or you're feeling down, you're probably sitting down or laying on the couch. You look at your physical posture of where, I bet you're not walking or doing something active. And one of the simplest ways to just get out of that, like the negative thought, whatever's happening, is just get your body moving, because that creates emotion. So they would say Albert Einstein would do 3 daily walks a day. one in the morning, afternoon, and it's just for cognitive and mental health. And I just moving, I tell that to my parents a lot too. It's not just the physical, but mentally, just moving your body in that rhythmic movement is very helpful for your brain.
Well, dude, I'm a big thinker. Like I overthink probably everything, and I have for a long time. And it's funny, I was listening to a podcast early this morning on the way to the gym, and the guy says, you can't think your way into a better way of feeling. Right? But you can act your way into a better way of thinking.
There we go.
And so and I think Tony Robbins, in one of his CDs or whatever I listened to a long time ago, he actually goes through this exercise with you. And he's like, look, if you're in the car, don't crash. But he's like, do something that is so ridiculous and cartoonish, like flail your arms out there and make a funny face or scream loud, or do something that causes you to move and change your energy.
It changes your state.
It changes your state.
Yeah. I went to his Unleash the Power Within event, and it's a 4-day event in Dallas.
Is that the one where you walk
I walk on fire on the very first night. We did that at midnight.
No
Dude,
shit.
this guy's so the very first day.
That's awesome.
He did not get off the stage he was on stage for 11 hours straight.
Holy cow.
No bathroom break. He did.
What?
He wears a catheter. He'll tell people.
Does he really?
He does a fast.
Holy shit.
He's not eating anything. He's barely drinking water. And if he has to pee, he literally doesn't leave the stage for 11 hours. He's speaking that whole time. And half of what we're doing, you go to a Tony Robbins event, his events are freezing cold. Okay. He doesn't want you comfortable. Everyone's got winter jackets on, and he buys like the biggest AC units and just to make it cold. He doesn't want you comfortable. And what we're doing maybe every few minutes is like out of our seats, jumping up and down. He'll throw on techno music or dancing, and he's like, you want to be like a child where they change their state. They're crying, and like 10 seconds later they could be laughing. And he shows you how easy it is to do that or to change your state just by jumping up and down and acting like a fool. But if you're in a negative mindset, negative state, you can easily make the decision to change it whenever you want. But it's going to start with getting out of that posture and getting moving, doing something, that your body's moving, and it'll change your whole mental and emotional state.
What were the coals like?
Dude, they are 2,000 degrees. For over an hour, we were doing a chant and kind of like he's like coaching us through this. He's like, this is how it's going to work. And there's got...
Your feet are going to fucking burn off, okay?
Dude, get this. There's 8,000 people at this event, and from like 40 different countries. It's being translated, I think, in like 8 languages or something. Oh all in the back, translators, and people can listen with headset. Yeah. So he's coaching all of us. He's like, all right, this is how it's going to work. You're going to, say this, and you're going to take your steps. And, but dude, and we're all doing this chant. We're all walking from like the event center in our chairs.
This is the first night you're doing
First night, midnight.
So it's not even like you're ramped up yet. You're just getting warmed up.
First night, it's midnight, and we're all outside now in the parking lot where he's got all the cars.
Are you in the event for 12 hours or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, you can go to do whatever you want, but he's not stopping. He just keeps it going. Firing. He's gunslinging. Wow. I was like, after that 4-day event, I was like, man, I can handle any event now. Like I got good endurance from good event endurance now. But yeah, midnight we're all walking across. It was a good. I think you do 1, 2. I think you take 4 steps. It's not just like a 1 or 2.
Okay.
And I got a little semi-burnt, but he's just like, you focus straight. There's a person on the other side of the coals. You look directly at them.
Just go.
And I forgot the chant we were saying, but yeah, he's like, don't try to run. Don't try to fall. You just take your step, and then you're done. And
how did you feel the moment you got through that? You must have just been like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you feel like I literally just walked on a coals. And he's got like this fire walker sign and all the hot coals back there. You're like, dude, we're all like midnight walking through hot coals right now. But yeah, it makes you feel like you can conquer the world, or just like, dude, I did something, that took courage. And he's teaching you that you can do that in anything in life. If you're building a business, if you're just jump starting a new weight loss or fitness, whatever it is, you can lock in that mindset of, dude, I'm unstoppable. Like I walked across coals, or I've, done something hard, and, I can do it again. So
there's something I saw. Do you know Huberman?
Oh yeah, Andrew Huberman. Yeah.
He had David Goggins on.
Oh yeah.
And I forget the name of this piece of the brain that he talks about, but if you guys look it up, you'll see Huberman with Goggins. And but there's a piece in the brain that apparently only gets bigger when you do shit that you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only way that this grows, and gets and the second you stop doing something difficult, it shrinks again.
Yeah.
So he studied this whole thing, and he started talking to athletes about it and ways to push through. But it was a great interview, and just forcing yourself, because we're all capable of pretty much anything.
Anything we
right?
put our minds
But so
to.
much of it is belief.
Absolutely.
Belief, and we talk ourselves out of it because and a lot of it, I think, is, it's perpetuated by social media, and we look at, public figures, athletes, movie stars, and we think we can never be as good as them.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Comparison.
And it's comparison's the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I like that. Good job. Dude, speaking of comparison, man, never walk into a King Soopers down the cereal aisle, because it's like, what the fuck? There's literally 1,000 fucking boxes of cereal.
It's ridiculous.
Like, I don't even eat cereal anymore.
Oh,
but
it's bad. Well, I want to mention, like going through hard things. That's one of the reasons I cold plunge every day, because it is a mental fortitude thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can force yourself to do uncomfortable things, you become a warrior. You become strong. That's how it's just like going to the gym. You don't become strong by doing what's comfortable. You become strong by doing those last extra reps, and it's uncomfortable. That's how you build that muscle. And you can build that mental muscle fortitude by cold plunging it. Every day it's cold. But I tell myself, this is medicine. Like, this is healing for your body. And I force myself to do it in the freezing cold. And I know I'm better for it. I've never done a cold plunge where I got out and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, it's always got...
Admittedly, I've never done it.
Okay.
Now, so maybe I have. But
I'm going to get you to do a river dip with me.
I
got a crew coming from the sauna.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll do it 100%. Yeah, I've been looking at getting a cold plunge, actually. But yeah, Clear Creek is a great place. They've got little areas where you can do it.
Nice plunges.
What, is there a temperature that you kind of want the water to be at?
Like, if you buy some of these cold plunge tubs, like the ones that Joe Rogan's use or something, they're a little pricey. And many of them, you can get them down to like 39 degrees, which is pretty cold. If you're just getting into it, 55 to 60 is still cold water, and it has a physiological effect. You don't need to go like to the extreme. Like when I first started, I wasn't like, all right, river plunging January. No, like I've got baby steps, work up to that. So, yeah, 55 to 60 is a great place. And you can also just start in the shower, man. But it is a game changer. For someone who's
time?
Dude, less than 2 minutes. Anything more than 2 minutes, there's actually not much physiological benefits after. So if someone's like, I did a 5 minutes, like, well, that is good for mental, but after 2 minutes, there's not a whole lot of extra.
Was it you that was telling me about something about brown fat?
Brown fat, and well, what it does is I do it. It's one of my biohacks of staying lean. You talked about like being, so sauna's one, but cold plunge, what they both do is get rid of bloating. So I have that lean look year round because I don't have bloating. And part of it's what I'm eating. And also it's because I have hacks to get rid of any water retention, and cold plunge one of those.
What do you eat?
Do you eat meat? I follow a carnivore diet now, an animal based, I call it. So, and this is recent. I've tried everything you could fathom, vegetarian, vegan, raw vegan, raw, where everything was under 100, nothing was cooked. Because the concept is when you cook things, you take away the nutrients.
Right?
It's like, that's BS. But what I've learned, I'll say this about food, is we were all brainwashed by one thing, and that's the food pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And in that food pyramid, if we remember, on the base, it said eat 6 to 10 servings of whole grains. Eat cereal, eat pasta, eat breads. Those are healthy for you because they're whole grains. And they marketed it to us by saying it's healthy because it had fiber. Fiber was the reasoning to eat it, right? It said eat your cereal, whole grains, but also 5 grams of fiber.
Right.
Fiber is the lie. Fiber, and dude, like I've done all these and I'll give you an example. Like you don't have to believe me, but I'll say this: if you have diverticulitis, inflammation in your gut, the first thing they tell you to do is go on a low fiber diet. If fiber is so good for your health, then why would you cut that out of your, when you have gut issues? It's because it's causing problems in your gut. Another way to look at fiber is it's undigestible. So you're putting something in your body that your body cannot break down. All it can do is poop it out. So we were taught we need fiber to poop, to eliminate. You don't. You need healthy fats. Healthy fats and oils help lubricate your GI, and that's get rid of your bowels. So we don't need fiber.
Dude, something that I read, so I've got this cookbook called Practical Paleo.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's Diane Sanfilippo is the author. It's a fantastic book. The first 25% of it is really explaining her journey and how she came to kind of believe in this way of eating.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I found out about paleo is that she recommends you don't eat grains.
Yeah.
Apparently grains, quinoa, rice, I go back and forth on it. Like, I'm like, is it bad? But she says that there's little, almost like thorns on a microscopic level on the grains. And so when you digest, or when you eat that and digest it, it actually is cutting the lining.
Yep.
And that's creating like IBS or
leaky gut.
Leaky gut.
It's causing all. The whole grains are the big lie. Like if you turn the food pyramid upside down, there's a joke about it in like The Simpsons. That is the true way. The most of what you should be eating is healthy fats. That's like people, we've all been brainwashed thinking fear fat. It's the devil. Like it's bad for us.
Yeah, bullshit.
When you physiologically, when you eat fat, a healthy one, I'm not talking about a trans fat from McDonald's, something, is healthy fats actually tell your body to burn fat. That's how it works. So when you eat ghee or grass-fed butter or tallow or avocado oil, olive oil, coconut, these things actually tell your body to burn more fat. It doesn't store that as fat. What gets stored as fat is when you eat processed carbs, whole grains, and you don't use them up, and then they need to go somewhere, so they get stored as fat. So we all bought into it. All of us, we went low fat and high carb. And what exploded was obesity. Another one that's related to this is Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's, the disease, didn't even exist until the low fat diet came around. Because our brain...
Is that right?
Yeah. Go look at Alzheimer's disease. It started like rapid incline in the 80s. It's because we all did what? We all went low fat. The brain is made purely on fat.
Cottage cheese, non-fat
low fat,
milk,
eat non-fat, low fat, no fat. It was the whole
2%.
Skim milk's better for it. It's like garbage. Fat is the most important nutrient, especially, of course, healthy sources. And carbs are the reason why everyone's overweight, and it makes you hold water. So it's causing fat storage and water retention and bloating in your body. So you don't really need, I still eat carbs, but it's nothing processed. It's raw honey. Raw honey is one of my go-to healthy carbs.
The best dessert.
Yeah, it is.
Best dessert. I'll chop up a banana, cashew butter with honey.
Nice.
Little cinnamon.
Delicious combo.
Freaking delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't need to fear honey. Honey is actually low glycemic. It doesn't spike your blood sugar. It's also loaded, with antioxidants, great for gut health.
We started buying, there's a new store that opened up in Golden called Bjorn's Honey. And it's just this local like beekeeper. I think he's got multiple shops now, but one of the honeys in there is called propolis. And propolis, if you look, from what I've heard, I haven't actually researched this, but from what I've heard, propolis is a component in like flu and cold medicine.
Ah.
And so what we were told is that you don't need any of that shit.
Right.
You just
This
need
is
the
the
propolis.
natural. Yeah.
I kid you not, dude. We've been giving our kids a little teaspoon of propolis, and they have a double propolis every day. They don't get sick.
Dude, I'm gonna check that store out. Yeah, I believe it. It's
and it
nature's
is
remedy.
like the best taste. Like it is. I mean, you've never tried honey that's this good. Anyway,
since we're talking about honey, dude, I'll have to say one of the most medicinal. That one sounds very medicinal. I'm gonna check that one out. It's called Manuka honey, and it's only from New Zealand.
Okay,
the Manuka flower. Now, it's so healing. Manuka honey is used in hospitals to this day. If you have a deep wound, they'll put Manuka honey over it.
Is that right?
In a hospital, and it'll heal. My buddy's a nurse, and he's like, I was telling him, yeah, I'm eating Manuka honey like every day. He's like, dude, we use that in the hospital, like for deep wounds.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So Manuka honey every day, and you taste it like right away. Your palate tells you, like, dude, this is next level honey.
This is amazing.
Yeah, just Amazon, but it's straight from New Zealand.
Okay.
Raw. You always want, if you're gonna get honey, raw, meaning they didn't heat it to cook out any of the good natural antibiotics. Raw and unfiltered. That's going to be like straight from the beehive and, unadulterated.
Do you think that, like, I think what I've experienced is that everybody's body and everybody is a little bit different in terms of what foods their body needs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like my wife, okay, so when I started doing paleo, I mean, there have been times in here where I'm telling the girls, I could literally just eat meat.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'd be totally fine. Right. Like I'm adding in the avocado and peppers and onions or whatever, but and it doesn't weigh me down. I don't feel sluggish. I mean, and I'm talking, good, clean meat.
Absolutely.
Right. But it gives me energy. Do you know anything about, because people will say, well, yeah, but if you eat, as an example, if you eat too much bacon, there's a lot of cholesterol. And I've heard that talked about in different ways.
Yes.
So do you know anything about that?
I have to talk about cholesterol because that's also been wrapped up with fat as like the worst thing. You'll never hear cholesterol talked about in like a good light. It's always like this negative thing. Cholesterol is bad for you. Well, cholesterol is what we need to make every hormone in our body. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all hormones require cholesterol. So if you want good hormone health, you have to eat cholesterol. And cholesterol doesn't come from plants. It's only from you will not find, like olive oil. Is olive oil a healthy fat? Yes. There's zero cholesterol in it though, because plants don't contain cholesterol. It's only from animal fat.
Okay.
So my primary fat sources are animal fat. So grass-fed butter, ghee, tallow. Those are my top three, or just the steaks and meat that I'm eating. I have to mention this. So what helped me kind of like just learn more about carnivores, because, my science background, all that, there's 3 MDs. They're Western trained medical doctors. They all have an MD degree, but they're all like a animal-based carnivore type person. Anthony Chaffee's a guy, Paul Saladino, and then Sean Baker. And they're all MDs, and 2 of the guys have been on it 10 years. So this isn't like just some, I tried this out. Because some people do it. I'm going to go carnivore 30 days, and it can help you. It's also an elimination diet, because when you eliminate all things that could be causing inflammation, and I'll give you, there's some healthy ones that even.
What about the people though that say meat causes inflammation?
Oh, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's also acidic. Like, does meat taste acidic when you eat it?
No.
No. Is it like a lemon or something that's acid? Right. That's just a made up thing. It doesn't cause acidity in the body. There's no fiber, so there's no waste. Your body liquefies meat. Dude. And
that's a great description, man, because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Right? I don't feel like I never feel bloated.
Me neither.
I
every night 1.5 pounds of red meat every
Do you really?
minimum. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do 2. Like if I don't eat all day, I'll have 2 pounds of red meat at night.
Do you fast?
Yeah, I do a lot of intermittent fasting.
Okay.
And usually it's called OMAD, like 1 meal a day. It's an acronym, OMAD.
Okay.
And that can really help reset hormones and even can increase like testosterone levels as well, is just giving your gut a break and then eating a big old monster meal at nighttime. And it can be tough. Like I'll do like a latte is sometimes what I'll do. That's what I had before here actually, is especially in the wintertime. I'll do like coconut oil, grass-fed butter.
Okay.
I use a bone broth protein. It's protein but from bone broth. And then I'll add in like whatever, some cinnamon or cayenne pepper, coconut sugar maybe to sweeten it. And it's like my latte, just minus coffee. But it has healthy fats and proteins in it. And then just a tiny amount of carbs.
Sounds good, actually.
Yeah, it's a really...
Wasn't there a coffee, or is a coffee called Bulletproof or something?
It's just like Bulletproof.
So what's the idea behind that?
Yeah, so Bulletproof coffee, when you just drink coffee, especially on an empty stomach, it is going to skyrocket your insulin. And you're going to be feeling good for a bit, maybe 2 hours, 3, but then it's going to come crashing down. When you combine any coffee drinker, I just say, please, I won't tell you to stop. Just add more fat into it, especially if it's the first thing you do in the morning. It's like you have, like your body's just like been fasting all night long. And then you give it like this sharp spike of insulin. And what the fat will do is it's going to regulate your blood sugar so you don't have a spike and then a crash. So even
what
just
kind of fat do you put in it?
I would say the best is coconut oil, and I actually do both because coconut oil is a medium chain triglyceride, MCTs. Maybe you've heard of that.
Oh, yep.
And it's also great for brain health. MCTs, the liver doesn't have to break down, so it's such a smaller chain fat that the liver doesn't have to secrete a lot of bile to break it down. So M meaning it digests quickly. So you could have it in the morning and that could help maybe fuel some of your workout just like 30 minutes later after that or something.
Okay.
But I like that and some grass-fed butter because butter is a short chain triglyceride. So
you do both?
I do both.
Okay.
Yep. And also butter has cholesterol. Coconut oil is good for you, but there's no cholesterol in it.
I see.
And cholesterol is brain health. That's why the Alzheimer's link, not only was it a low-fat diet we were on a low cholesterol diet. And if you want brain cognitive health, you need cholesterol. And that only comes from animal fat. The very thing we were taught, like fear. Don't eat the fat off your steaks. Trim that off. Eat chicken breast. Don't eat the dark meat. That's the biggest lie. They wanted us to fear fat and fear cholesterol, and those are the two healthiest things for brain health, joint health, and heart health. I'll give you a good one here. There's a Harvard grad student that ate 700 eggs in a month. Whatever that, it's like 30. What is that?
700 eggs in a month.
So it's like 35 eggs a day when they measured his cholesterol levels. So there's
interesting.
Cholesterol is great for you, and the levels that your doctor tell you to have are actually low. When you listen to a naturopathic doctor, you want your levels around 200 to 220 total cholesterol, especially if you want fertility. For women, there's a lot of women who just they can't get pregnant. I'll tell you one of the top reasons: your cholesterol levels rock bottom, and you want to support a new child growing in your body, you need high cholesterol levels. That's one of the top things that's in breast milk. It's the most cholesterol. Colostrum, but it's also high in cholesterol. So it's the most cholesterol rich food is breast milk. And that's what
I had a buddy of mine that would drink his wife's breast milk after giving birth.
Yeah, I would do that if I was married. And it's the most nutrient dense food on earth. There's
I never wanted to try it for some reason. I was like, I don't know
I'm
about
good.
That. I think I tried a little bit
for the kids. No, it's
I told you guys today was going to be awesome. So if somebody is looking for a coach, they're looking for somebody that can help get them on track with diet, doing things holistically to really get not just in shape physically, but mentally. And I know that you're putting together a men's retreat. I don't know if you want to mention that, but where can people find you?
The best is just on Instagram. I just rebranded. I was Health Coach Eric, and now I'm Health Warrior Eric. I like that warrior word, and that's like the mindset and kind of way I want to. Also, I want it for men in particular. I'm going to be hosting a men's warrior retreat, and it's just like helping men be men again. And part of that's like get your testosterone levels up, get rid of all these plastics and heavy metals in our bodies, and just do warrior things. So, but find me on Instagram, Health Warrior Eric.
Okay.
I don't actually have my website up. I bought it. I just haven't built it out yet.
It's that, dude. You don't need that.
Yeah, just find me on Insta. Yeah, Health Warrior Eric is. Reach out to me. But I have programs for everything: fitness programs, nutrition programs, how to rehab your knee and build knee health or shoulder health, or
dude, I'm telling you guys, like, I don't care what your issue is, like, this is the guy you want to reach out to. He knows so much about every aspect of it. So I appreciate you coming on today. I feel like we could talk for hours about all this shit.
We'll have to do a round two sometime.
We'll do a round
maybe
two
next year.
I know you might be traveling.
Yeah.
Right? Yep, when do you think you're coming back?
Shoot, dude, I won't be back till like April. So I'll be gone in December, and then you might not see me in the gym for like 4 or 5 months.
What are you going to do?
I'll be in Mexico, so I host winter health retreats there. But part of my travel is just like, for me, I'll say two of my biggest philosophies. I love these quotes. One is by Jim Rohn, and he says, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. So we only get one vehicle, and I'm trying to take care of my vehicle as best as I can. And the other quote that like kind of live by with my health coaching is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you're feeling like, if you're just overrun, like, and you're feeling down and you're not taking care of yourself, well, that's going to affect every year of your life. But when your cup is filled or overflowing even, you're a better husband, better spouse, better dad, all the things, better at work.
100%.
So it's not selfish to take care. That is the best thing you could do, is take care of yourself, so then you can pour into others. So I do these travels a lot. It's just, it's to pour into me so I can be filled up and then pour back into others.
Dude,
so
that's funny you bring that up, man. My wife is the type of person where she puts everybody else first. All she does all day long is serve other people. Which is incredible. I'm the opposite. Okay. Not necessarily in the best way sometimes, but I do believe that it's not selfish to put yourself first. It's kind of like the on the airplane with the mask theory, right? Like, how are you going to help the guy next to you with the freaking oxygen if you're dead?
You're dead. Yeah, you are worthless to people. Like, you cannot be your best version of yourself if you're just running on empty all the time. It's not selfish to take an hour every day for your own personal self-care. 1 hour. It's
anybody
like,
can take an
4%
hour
of the day that is an hour. So you take that time, and like, no one gets it. Like, at work, no one gets that time. That's my time for me to pour into myself, and then I'm a better, son, better. Like, I'm not married, but I'm just better at work. I'm better at everything, and better for my clients, because I'm taking care of myself. So,
brother, dude, thanks for coming on, man. And guys, go follow him at Eric Warrior.
Health Warrior
Eric. There we go.
Health Warrior
Eric. All right. Peace out, guys.
Every time that I see a limit, I push right past it. Don't care if you got here first, the one to win is the last one standing. Say my life is like luck, nah, I had to plan it. The way I work is out of this earth. I can feel the momentum. Need it all, no fractions. Dream it, then I gotta have